Have you ever gone through a bankruptcy? Well, if you have, then you know that it is a very, very painful situation. So today, what we're going to be discussing in our Tuesday tips is bankruptcy exemptions. So stay locked in. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, certified financial planner and president and CEO of the Retirement Education Center. And I want to welcome you once again to our Tuesday tips, where today we are going to be discussing bankruptcy exemptions. Now, if anyone watching this video has ever gone through a bankruptcy, and you're probably going to notate that it's probably very similar to going through a divorce. In a situation like a divorce, your assets are going to be separated from you and going to your ex-spouse. In a situation like a bankruptcy, your assets are going to be separated from you and going to the government. So neither one of those situations are good. So today what we're going to talk about are what assets do you have that can be exempt from the government putting their hands on them when it comes to a bankruptcy. So let's go ahead and get into our lesson. The first thing that you need to know when it comes to filing for bankruptcy is that there are three types of bankruptcy. The first type of bankruptcy is going to be Chapter 7. Now, Chapter 7 bankruptcy is probably going to be the most excruciating type of bankruptcy to file. So you have to be really careful here. Because when you file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, it's going to be a total liquidation of your assets, your individual assets or your business non-exempt assets. So you have to be really careful when you're filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. You also have Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Here, the only entity that can file for a Chapter 11 bankruptcy is a business. So you as an individual cannot file for Chapter 11, but a business can. Now, this is going to be a lot more favorable than filing for Chapter 7 because here, under this filing, as a business, you are allowed to reorganize your debts. And so you can still keep a lot of your assets, but it's allowing you to reorganize and get things in shape so you can get back on track. And the last form of bankruptcy that you can file is a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Now here, this is the opposite of Chapter 11 because in Chapter 11, only a business can file. When it comes to Chapter 13 bankruptcy, only individuals can file for Chapter 13. And Chapter 13 really works similar to Chapter 11. It allows the individual to basically reorganize their assets and reorganize their situation financially so they can pay down those debts that they owe so they don't have to do a total liquidation. So what is the potential advantage over Chapter 13 versus Chapter 7? Was very obvious. You as an individual can keep the things that you have that's important to you, like your home, and be able to pay down those debts over time as opposed to being able to liquidate everything. So when it comes to your bankruptcy filing, it is extremely important that you speak with a bankruptcy attorney that can help you understand what's going to be best for you. Now, when it comes to bankruptcy, there are some exemptions that you have. And these exemptions are there to protect specific types of individuals' properties from bankruptcy creditors. Now, when it comes to these protections, there are both federal exemptions and there are also state exemptions. When it comes to your federal exemptions, it's going to be things like your home equity, your vehicle. Now, if you're driving around in a Lamborghini, that may not be something that the government would allow you to keep. It's going to be within limits. But typically, they don't want to take your vehicle. You still need that. How about your household furnishing and your jewelry? They're not going to come in and say, hey, we need to take all the furniture. We're going to let you keep the house, but we need to take your furniture. Or they're not going to come in and take your wedding ring or anything like that. They're going to let you keep that. How about life insurance? Very important to know that your life insurance is completely exempt from bankruptcy creditors. Your annuities. So if you have annuities, be proud of yourself because bankruptcy creditors cannot come in and take your annuities. Your 529 plans also are protected from bankruptcy creditors when it comes to filing for bankruptcy. Now, when it comes to your state exemptions, they're very similar to your federal exemptions, but there are certain limits that will vary from state to state. So when you're filing for bankruptcy and you fall under their state bankruptcy exemption limits, you're going to want to know in your state what those limits are. Now, there are also retirement plan exemptions as well. This is very, very important for you to understand. Your qualified retirement funds are exempt from bankruptcy creditors. Your 401ks, the 403bs, your 457bs, any type of qualified plans are exempt without any limits. So if you have $10 million sitting in a 401k plan, then that is completely exempt from bankruptcy creditors. Now, many people roll over their 401ks every single year into IRAs. Your IRAs also have bankruptcy creditor limits, but not up to the maximum limits like a 401k or other qualified plans. So any balances up to 1.5 million would be completely exempt from bankruptcy creditors under any bankruptcy filings. So if you have a 401k and you have $3 million in it, you might want to think twice if you feel like you have some financial obligations that you might not be able to meet before rolling over that 401k into an IRA, because only up to 1.5 million of those funds will be completely exempt from bankruptcy creditors. So that's something to really think about. So I really hope that today's Tuesday tips gave you some insight into what sort of assets would be exempt if you happen to fall into the situation of filing bankruptcy. Please note that these videos are created for educational purposes only. You should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. Also, if you are looking for a fiduciary financial advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the link in our description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today. And if you found this information to be beneficial, all that we ask is that you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with others.